Okay.
Dear friends, as I promised in my last video on our tour to Garmisch-Partenkirchen, the alpine village in Germany, in this video I'm taking you to the Partnach Gorge, or Partnach Klamm, the amazing creation of Mother Nature. Right behind the 1936 Winter Olympic Stadium in Garmisch-Partenkirchen begins one of Bavaria's most spectacular walks, the trail to the Partnach Gorge. With the ski jumps behind you, you follow the small road leading into the valley. The path is wide and paved, making it easy to walk. On either side, you're surrounded by alpine meadows, and the sound of the river gradually grows stronger as you go deeper into the valley. The Partnach River flows right beside you, crystal clear and fast-moving, hinting at the dramatic gorge ahead. The path is about 1.5 kilometers, or a 20-minute walk. From the Winter Olympic Stadium in Garmisch-Partenkirchen, you can either enjoy a peaceful walk along the road that winds through meadows and follows the sound of the rushing Partnach River, or take a traditional horse-drawn carriage ride from the stadium to the gorge entrance. Walking lets you soak in the alpine scenery at your own pace, while the carriage adds a touch of old-world charm. But either way, the journey ends at the entrance to the Partnach Gorge, where the real adventure begins on foot. When you arrive at this ticket counter of the Partnach Gorge, you'll find a small hut where you can purchase your entry ticket before heading inside. This is also a good spot to take a short break. There are benches around, and in the warmer months you'll usually find a kiosk or small stand nearby where you can grab a drink or a quick snack to refresh yourself before continuing into the gorge. Since we already had our ticket booked online, we simply skipped the counter and walked straight to the electronic control gate. After scanning the tickets, the path immediately narrowed and we stepped into the dramatic entrance of the gorge, where the sound of the rushing river echoes between the towering cliffs. As you step through the gate, the landscape changes instantly. The open valley gives way to a narrow walkway carved into the cliffs, with the Partnach River roaring just below. The air is cool and damp, drops of water fall from above, and the echo of rushing water surrounds you. You pass through tunnels and shadowy passages, then suddenly sunlight breaks through, illuminating the mist and the towering rock walls. Every step draws you deeper into this dramatic gorge, making it feel less like a walk and more like a journey into the heart of the mountain. A gorge is a narrow, deep valley with steep, rocky walls carved over thousands of years by a river. The water rushes below, sometimes forming rapids or waterfalls, while cliffs tower above, creating a dramatic corridor of rock and nature. It's nature at its most powerful and breathtaking, all in one compact space. This Partnach Gorge, or Partnach Clam, has been carved over thousands of years by the Partnach River cutting through the limestone of the Wetterstein Mountains. The gorge's dramatic cliffs rise up to 80 meters high, creating a narrow, awe-inspiring canyon. In the late 19th century, locals built the first wooden walkways along the rock walls to make the gorge accessible. And by the early 20th century, these paths were reinforced and expanded for safety. Today, Partnach Gorge is a protected natural site, attracting visitors from around the world to experience its towering cliffs, roaring river, and breathtaking alpine scenery.
Láska i czołówka i kask. Nie jest tak źle.
In the middle of the way, you can see this small Catholic shrine, a statue of the Virgin Mary. The figure, more than 100 years old, has long served as a devotional symbol and protector for travellers and workers in the gorge. In late 2023, it was carefully restored and ceremonially returned to its niche in April 2024, continuing its role as both a cultural and spiritual landmark of this dramatic alpine canyon. After walking through the gorge, you'll emerge at the opposite end into a wider, open valley. The roar of the river fades, replaced by the calmer sounds of meadows and forest. From here, you have a few options to return. The easiest choice is to retrace your steps along the same 1.5-kilometer path back to the Olympic Stadium. It's scenic, easy, and takes about 20 to 25 minutes. After exiting the gorge, you can take the longer hiking route back along the higher trail, which gives you a stunning bird's-eye view of the Partnach Gorge from above. This path winds through alpine meadows and forests, gradually ascending to points where the gorge's narrow canyon and rushing river are visible far below. The walk is more strenuous than retracing the valley path and will take additional time, but the panoramic views of the cliffs, the river, and the surrounding Wetterstein Mountains make it well worth the effort. It's a perfect way to see the gorge from a completely new perspective before descending back toward the Olympic Stadium. So, dear friends, that's it for today's adventure through Partnach Gorge. Thanks for joining us. See you in another video for more breathtaking journeys. Safe travels!